Welcome to Break the Bank Garage. In this video, I'm going to use a smoke machine to help detect a vacuum leak that I suspect my 2004 Tahoe has. Before we get started, if you could like the video and subscribe to the channel, it's greatly appreciated. Let's dive into it. So I was getting an intermittent check engine light for a lean condition code, and I looked at my fuel trims, and as you can see, the fuel trims are extremely high percentage, which means it's having to add a lot of extra gas because there is unmetered air getting in. And what I mean by unmetered air is air that is getting in that is not going through the air box and passing the mass airflow sensor. Somewhere else, air is getting into the engine or into the intake manifold and adding additional air that the computer doesn't know about it. To compensate for that, the computer has to add additional fuel. So there's positive fuel trim percentages. Now, a lean condition could be because it's getting not enough fuel maybe, or because it's getting too much air. But I suspect that this car is getting too much air because when I hit the gas, my short-term fuel trim actually goes down when I hit the gas because the effects of the additional air entering through probably a vacuum leak are less significant when you have a significant amount of air going through the standard intake. If the engine was starving for gas, when I hit the gas, it would probably only make the problem worse, not better. So that's why I think it's a vacuum leak, and I'm going to use a smoke machine to figure it out. So I bought this smoke machine a little while ago on Amazon. I've used it a few times, and it's pretty simple. You just add some smoke oil to the top. There's also apparently some other types of oil you can use. And then it plugs into the battery for power. So you just connect it and it'll fire up. So with the battery connected, the air pump is running and it is putting the air out here. And then I just turn this on to actually start making the smoke. And wait about a minute or so and smoke will start pouring out of here. So while I'm waiting for it to start pouring out smoke, I need to figure out a way to pump that smoke into the intake so I can check for vacuum leaks around there. So I think I'm just going to take this line off and I'm going to send the smoke right in there. So it's been about a minute and you can see smoke is pouring out of here. It's very windy out. And I'll put that right in there. So now it's pumping smoke into the intake, and after a little while I should see where it starts to leak out, hopefully. So I wasn't able to get any conclusive results going in there, but I don't know if this is a one-way valve or where that exactly goes. So I'm gonna try to go in from the air box because we know where that goes. So I'm gonna take the air box off here. Now this goes right into the air intake, and I have this funnel, but it's not quite the right size. I'm gonna see if I can just wrap some towels around it and get it to fit in there. It doesn't have to be perfectly airtight, just good enough. Now I can plug the smoke machine into that, and it should send smoke all through there as long as my towel setup is secure enough. So if you look at the hose I previously unplugged, we know that the system's working. It's definitely pumping smoke through. So I'm gonna plug that back in. Now, I think I found it coming over to this side of the engine. I see some smoke coming up here. And in this case, it's very obvious right on top of the engine. This one could be found with just probably a visual inspection. But without having to look around too much, I can see the smoke coming out. So we got a leak right there. So with an obvious leak there, I also want to inspect the intake where it goes into the heads. So I was looking down here, and it may be a little difficult to see on camera, but where the intake goes into the port there, you can see smoke is coming out. So that means not only will that need to be replaced, but this thing's also going to need a new intake manifold gasket because it's leaking around that one for sure, and it may be leaking around some of the other ones. So there you go. If your check engine light is on for a lean condition or you suspect that you have a vacuum leak because of rough idle or something, pick up one of these smoke machines on Amazon. There's also ways to kind of make your own smoke system. There are several other ways to check for vacuum leaks. This is just one of them. So do your research and do whatever method you think is going to work for you. Thanks for watching this quick video. If you enjoyed it, please like the video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Here are a few more videos I think you might like.